To be quite honest, I was a bit nervous before the year, knowing that we had a pretty difficult non-conference schedule, knowing we lost 6 seniors last year in the Conference Player of the Year. So I didn't know who's going to fill a lot of shoes from our team. You lose 12 goals, it's hard to get those back anywhere. So we didn't know who's going to fill that play. We didn't know who's going to fill our role in the back. Becca last year as a goalkeeper wasn't starting all the time. So there's a lot of questions, and I didn't have the answers, especially in August. So I was a bit apprehensive, probably the better word, but I think our kids have done a pretty good job since. To me, I think there's two games that kind of stood out. One, South Carolina, coming back, being down a couple goals and coming back and making it interesting the last couple minutes. To a team that, they're still a top 25 team, so that was on the road in bad weather conditions. So that was something that, was pretty good to see that our kids had some resolve in them. They could bounce back and still fight to the end of the whistle, even though we did lose. But then again, for sure, the NC State game. Playing against an ACC's team, is always challenging. But I think the kids, overtime game, I think we've done well in all those. But I think that part, playing and beating NC State here, getting that, confidence, that kind of set us up on a run where we won a couple games in a row. The kids had that belief in our team. I think we'd won 4 or 5 after that game. And that's always huge. You get a win over a team that I think maybe even the kids had some question marks about it, like, hey, can we beat these guys? And once we started playing the game, I think we felt we could beat them, and we ended up beating them. And then I think from that point on, I saw a different team. We just came out and played much better.
I think, like Paul said, it's been good so far. I think it's been better than we expected, especially starting with our non-conference play, which was really difficult. But the girls have done a really good job on the road. We were much better this year than last year, and I think our non-conference play was so difficult that it just made us better for conference play, and I think that showed with our record. Obviously, we wanted to win the regular season, but we put ourselves in a really good place to hopefully win the championship.
Last year we didn't do so well on the road, and we wanted to kind of fix that early in the year, and I think we did. I think we forced to by playing on the road every weekend, and it was tough. We played in difficult places. Going to South Carolina, was always challenging. Going down to Alabama to play Samford, and UAB was challenging. So every weekend had a different challenge, but I think our kids grew from it both playing-wise, getting used to the travel, getting used to the different requirements that are needed. But I also think that the team got closer together just by being on a bus for 8 hours. It always helps.
I don't know if it's anything specific. I think we spend a lot of time working on functional work, so like Paul or Lucas will take the defense and I'll take the forwards. And I think just spending that time working on certain things that we see in games makes a huge difference. So, there's a lot you can do working on possession as a team or playing full field 11v11, but I think there's a lot to be said for like breaking down your position and just getting reps in front of the goal. And I think for someone like Amber, who was playing defense at the beginning of the season, getting her in front of the goal during practice consistently is a huge help for her.
Amber's a kid that just works hard. She's super fit, but she's also got this bubbly personality that, it's hard to, she works very hard and she competes. So I think some kids feed off that. And everybody, as a younger player, looks up to different players. And she might be somebody that's easy to talk to. So I think her, just by being Burr, is somebody that the kids can look up to. Okay, last year we had, Casey scored a lot of goals for us, and we had other players put a couple goals in here and there, but there was not a significant number of goals. This year, I think right now we're leading the league in goals. And I think we've had a balanced attack, through Amber, through Danny, through Kayla, and then midfield players at different times have been scoring goals. So I think that part for me is a part of, we look at other teams and they have maybe a really good forward, but they have one really good forward. We have 3 good forwards who can all, on a different day, take over a game. The girls that came in prepared and fit to be here have done pretty well. Some kids have gotten better as the years have gone along, and I think that we're pretty proud of the fact that they're in their development. Kayla's obviously freshman of the year in the conference. She scored a lot of goals. Still a lot to grow into as a player, but I think she's done a very good job. I think before the year we looked at it in like different segments, our non-conference play, our conference play, and then postseason. I think we did better than we thought in non-conference. We, I wouldn't say underachieved in conference play, but we were hoping to win the regular season. Didn't do it, but I think we're now gearing up towards postseason.